Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ask Andrea. For those of you that want to get your questions answered, you go to my website, www.andreabeeman.com, and on the sidebar, there is an Ask Andrea. You put in your question, and I get to them. Now, I haven't been able to get to them in a while, so I'm here today to answer the questions that have come in over the past couple of months, or at least a couple of them, or some of them. So let's start. First question came in from Debby. Debbie says, help! I'm so itchy from head to toe. My skin feels like a cross between sandpaper and peeling sunburn. I don't have money for deductibles and co-pays for allergists and dermatologists. Plus, they would probably just give me hydrocortisone cream, pat me on the head, and tell me to stop scratching. Very funny. I was hoping you could give me a path to finding the root cause, be it food, bath, and beauty, external bad guys. Nothing has changed with any of these things in months, so I'm at a loss where to begin. Oh, and you are one of my favorite of all the health gurus that I follow. I feel like I'm just sharing a glass of wine with my girlfriends when I listen to you. Hi, Yvette. Good to see you, too. From my heart to yours, sugar. Okay, so Debbie's skin is itchy from head to toe. It feels like sandpaper and peeling sunburn, and she doesn't know what's wrong with her. So this is a big problem, right? Okay, so there's a couple of things, Debbie, that you got to look at. The first is, how well is your gallbladder functioning, right? Because if your gallbladder is sludgy and the bile is not nice and thin and it's just not working well, right? You won't be able to emulsify the fats. It's going to cause congestion in your lymphatic system, and this is going to come up also through the skin. So that's something to think about. Now, second thing to think about. If you are showering, don't use soap every time you're in the shower. Don't take off your oils, your natural oils that are on your skin. Don't take them off, right? You want to leave those on. Don't use antibacterial soap. Don't use any of that stuff. Just water on your skin would be fine. And then the third thing is, you say, I feel like I'm just sharing a glass of wine with my girlfriends when I listen to you. So while you are in the midst of this so itchy from head to toe business, right? Just chill out on the wine for a while, right? Again, because something may be going on with the liver and the gallbladder where your toxins are not being, your fats aren't being broken down properly, and your toxins are building up. And of course, it's coming out through the skin. So that's something to think about. Okay, so let's see our next question that came in. That was here from Linda. Linda says, I've heard that taking Astragalus daily is a good idea for supporting and maintaining health. What can you recommend as the best way and amount to do that? That's a great question, Linda. I love Astragalus, especially at this time of year, to build the immune system. It builds both red and white blood cells. It'll help stave off colds and flus. I prefer it in a soup or a stew or a congee. If you go on my website, andreabeeman.com, and you look for congee, then you'll see how to put the Astragalus into the congee so that you could get all of the benefits from that. Okay, next question came in from Nirmala. And Nirmala says, hi, Andrea. My son is 9 years old, and he's been suffering from alopecia areata since 5 years of age. What, according to you, should be his diet like? Nirmala. Okay, so he's got an autoimmune condition, so you got to look at his gut, right? You got to go into his gut and say, what's going on? What's causing this, the body to attack itself? Hi, Claudine. How are you from PA? What is going on? So until you get to the root cause, literally go into the digestive system, see what's going on in there, then the hair will keep falling out. And also with high stress, you're going to have more autoimmune conditions that pop up. Okay. Kristin says, will you see me in person? I need your help. I heard your episode on the Health Coach Academy podcast, and man, to we vibe. And ma'am, to we vibe. I'm obsessed with everything you said. How much is it to have a private session with you? Go to my website, andreabeeman.com. Click on consultations. All the information is there. I just had a special for the holidays. It's no longer available, but send me a note and I'll get back to you. Katrina says, hi, Andrea. Can you please tell me how I can stop drinking Diet Coke? I try and stop for a while, but I always go back. Any help would be great. Okay, so Diet Coke is interesting. You're probably addicted to the aspartame or the other chemical crap that's in there. But stop drinking. Go to like Coke Anonymous, you know, and I'm being a little facetious when I say that, but it's an addiction, right? So you need to, you're addicted literally to Diet Coke. So you need to get help around that. Like, what is the benefit that you're getting from Diet Coke? Besides the fact that it's really messing up your neurotransmitters, right? So when you're on a chemical sweetener, your own ability to create and produce the dopamine and stimulate the serotonin and the dopamine and all that stuff that makes you feel good is suppressed, right? So I would suggest that you get off the Diet Coke, and when you're off the Diet Coke, you find something that you enjoy and that you love and start to put that in, because somehow the Diet Coke has become that for you, and it's really not healthy, right? So Claudine just put in a question. She says, Andrea, what would you do for someone that has anxiety and a racing mind and has trouble sleeping? Okay, in Chinese medicine, or TCM, the racing mind and trouble sleeping actually indicates that the heart is unsettled. So if your heart is unsettled, if there's something that needs to be said to someone in your life that you are heart connected to, right? Someone that you love in your community, you have to find a way to say it and release it, right? Because here it's spinning, it's keeping the mind up at night. And that's on the emotional level. On the physical level, I really like Passionflower at night, chamomile and elderflower, right? All of these really help to calm, bring the energy, right? Calm you down, make you really relax so that you can sleep better. And make sure you get off all of your computers and your cell phone and all of that stuff that's bringing white light into your pineal gland, because that'll keep you up as well. And for anxiety, I'm a big fan of meditation. Not everybody likes meditation, but if you could either take a breathing class or something where your focus is shifting, where you're not just on the me factor, the me, oh my God, this is happening to me, right? Anxiety is, and also when you're anxious, it's about the future, and when you're depressed, it's about the past. So somehow you got to stay present. And I like John Kabat-Zinn. He does this meditation where it's a body scan, and you get really present, because you got to focus on your toes, and you got to focus on your calves, and you got to focus on your knees, and you got to focus on your legs, and you got to focus on your hips. So he's bringing you back to the body over and over and over and over again, right? So if you come back to the body, you can't go away, right? It's hard to go into the future. So keep that in mind as you're racing ahead into the future. You just want to keep coming back, right? Keep coming back. Okay. Let's see. Another question came in. Oh, this is from Karen. Karen says, what do you recommend for somebody with stage 3 kidney disease and also has diabetes? Well, I'm a firm believer that as long as you're alive and breathing, you could heal any condition or support some condition in some way. Like even though there's stage 3 kidney disease and diabetes, you could still come back from that. But it's going to take a lot of strength and a lot of intestinal fortitude. This person needs gentle exercise. I would suggest nettle tea, and get with a good herbalist, right? An herbalist and a dietitian, but not a standard dietitian, like a health coach, someone that can really fix the diet in a way so that the person is not focusing on carbohydrates and fats and like that kind of stuff, like not the minuscule things, but really the big picture: eating well, whole foods, exercising, even moving the body. Like when you have diabetes, your blood sugar is probably high, or the person's blood sugar is high. So what do you use? What does the body use for energy? It uses sugar, right? So you have to move the body so that you can utilize the sugar and get some of that sugar out of the bloodstream. So, there's a lot that can be done. Don't give up hope, and tell your friend not to give up hope. But they got to get into the right mindset. They already have stage 3 kidney and diabetes. They got to start moving in a different direction now. Otherwise, then they lose limbs and they're going to lose feet, and, the neuropathy and all this stuff is going to start to settle in. So you want to start now, right? It's never too late, right? They should have started 20 years ago, but you can still go right now and do something to heal this condition. Okay. Tina says, I do not get the flu shot. How can I prevent getting the flu? Well, congratulations. You didn't give in to the hype, the flu shot hype, Tina. You pass by every drugstore in America and it says, did you get your flu shot yet? Have you gotten your flu shot yet? Yeah, I haven't gotten the flu shot myself in 22 or 23 years. And I'm not a fan of the flu shot. I think it does more damage, especially to the kidneys over time, and the immune system over time. So how do you prevent getting the flu? Stay away from the sugar. Make sure you're getting sunshine and exercise. Eat well. Get rest at night. And you may get the flu, right? So I think last year when they had that big flu that was going around, even me and my husband got it, right? But you get it, and your body does what it does, and you'll hopefully come out of it on the other side, and you won't get it for another 20 years, right? I don't expect that I'll get the flu for another 20 years. I didn't have it for 22 years. I don't think I'll get it for another 22 years. I think it comes in cycles. There's also lots of herbs, Tina, that you could use. Star anise, cloves, allspice. All of these herbs are antiviral, and they can help stave the flu, keep the flu from coming. You also want to make sure that your lungs are healthy, right? So a girl put in about how to use astragalus root, right? So get your astragalus root into your body to boost up your immune system, your red and your white blood cells, so that when the flu comes, you can handle it much better, okay? Suzanne says, hi, Andrea, do you work with people who are vegan? I have worked with people who are vegan. And a lot of times depending on their condition, if they're in a state of deficiency, then I'll encourage them to try something other than vegan. If they're in a state of excess, like if somebody comes to me and they have some type of, let's say colon cancer, or even a really hot, fiery heart disease, I would say, please go vegan. Eat as much vegetables and fruits as humanly possible. You can get it to your pie hole. Please cool that system down and cleanse it out. But if you're in a state of deficiency, adrenal fatigue, osteoporosis, osteopenia, something like that, weakness, general weakness, then I don't recommend vegan. Okay. So, Hillary says, how can you get rid of pain in the morning? I cannot move. I recommend doing stretching exercises, right? So pain indicates that the energy is stuck, right, Hillary? The energy is stuck. It's not moving, right? So the pain comes because there's a blockage of energy. So I do recommend actual movement, like getting beyond going into stretching exercises. So on my website, Hillary, if you go and you put in exercise in the search bar on my website, andreabeeman.com, then there'll be these morning exercises that you can do. They're 5 simple stretches, like literally 5 simple stretches to get your whole system flowing and moving to get you out of pain. Now, it's not going to happen on the first day. It's not going to happen on the second day. It's going to take time to get your body flowing, right? Right now it's stuck. And when it's stuck, you're going to get this pain that comes, right? Blockage of energy is always pain. Okay, so let's see. This Robin sent in a question, and I'm bouncing back and forth. The questions that came in on my website, andreabeeman.com, and the questions that are here live with you guys. So Robin sent in a question. She said, what sense organ is related to organs of the body? Okay, all of your sense organs are related to the organs of the body, right? So the ears in Chinese medicine are related to the kidneys. So if somebody has wet ears, ear infections, then it shows that something's happening with the kidneys. The eyes are connected to our liver, the health of our liver. Our sense of smell, the large intestine ends here. Oh, that's a little dog back there. Sorry. Large intestine ends here. So when someone they lose their sense of smell, I know that their colon actually needs to be cleansed. They need to clear out their colon. It's too congested, or it's got stuff in it that's shouldn't be there. Maybe a little extra stuff, extra poop in the little pockets. And your taste, this is connected, like your tongue overall is showing the health of the heart, but the digestive system as well. So all of your senses are related to different organs in the body. Like I was talking to another girl earlier about her skin, right? So the skin is showing the health of the lymphatic system, but also the lungs, right? So when someone is gray, they have a gray cast, they're not getting the oxygen that they need, right? This is a problem with the lungs. And you can see this with smokers, right? Smokers will generally have a gray cast because they're not getting the oxygen that they need. So that's all stuff to consider. Like your whole body's connected to every organ, right? Every organ is connected to everything in your body. And, it's not like it's one thing that, when I say that the ears are connected to the kidney, the ears are showing the health of the kidneys. And we can go deeper into the body and say, okay, what do my kidneys need? Do they need to be toned? Do they need a good quality protein? What do they need? And you see this with people that age, right? They start to lose the hearing because they can't absorb as much, right? They can't absorb as much. The kidneys start to get weak. They lose the hearing. Okay. Another question that came in from Karen. Karen says, there's a 13-centimeter cyst in my liver with a bunch more little ones. How do I get rid of it? Hepatologist wants an MRI. I can feel the cyst. It's uncomfortable. Okay, so I'm a big fan of using red clover, echinacea, and burdock whenever there are cysts, as well as, oh gosh, there's another one that I love. I can't think of it right now. It'll come to me probably when I'm answering another question. But, and milk thistle. Right? Because you have stuff going on with the liver. We want to support and heal the liver. So anytime that there are cysts anywhere in the body, you have to look to the liver, and you actually have cysts on your liver. So we're really looking at the liver here. So you want to support the liver. You want to probably do a cleanse or a detox, coffee enema. That'll help to clear out your liver pretty quickly. And, Google that stuff. But it's going to take some time. I've had clients with cysts on their liver. It's like 3 months, 4 months, the cysts start to shrink and shrink and shrink. It does take time. You got to be patient with this stuff. Okay. Let me bounce back to a question here. Yvonne says, hi, Andrea. I self-diagnosed myself with SIBO. How have you worked with SIBO? Tips. I plan to see you in the new year as well. Oh, good, Yvonne. So you self-diagnosed with SIBO. You could self-diagnose, but you want to get a professional opinion on that stuff. So with SIBO, I generally love the berberine herbs. I love barberry. I love golden seal. I love them because they're going to help to keep the population in check. So SIBO is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, right? Now, you could take that externally, right? You could take the barberry, you could take the golden seal, you could take Oregon grapefruit, another wonderful berberine, and they'll bring down the growth of that population. But how do you keep it from exploding again? That's the question. So the answer, and that's, here you guys are, Ask Andrea. I'm going to give you the answers that I know. They're not the only answers in the world. They're just the ones that I know. So with you want to keep that population from exploding again, so you have to vary the food. So if you eat the same food all year round, you're only feeding one population, right? Or a few populations, but you're not feeding the diversity, which is the microbiome. So the healthiest, like I'm in the Spanish, the healthiest microbiomes on the planet, the people are eating a more diverse diet, right? They're eating seasonally. They're eating locally. They're eating food that is grown within each season, because those specific foods will feed different bacteria inside the body, right? So you'll have different bacteria in the wintertime and different bacteria in the summertime and different bacteria in the springtime. And a lot of that is coming in from the soil, and it's feeding the food that's coming in, that's in the soil, as well as the bacteria that's in the soil, is going to feed the specific populations that are in your body, and not just one population. So for somebody that, let's say, eats kale every day, and I'm talking to you guys because you're a health and wellness community, at least the majority of you are, and if you eat kale every single day, it's not the healthiest thing for you. Just like if you eat broccoli every single day, it's not the healthiest thing. You have to rotate your foods, and I rotate them personally cyclically, meaning with the seasons. There are cycles and there are seasons. So rotate your foods, get your bacteria in check, and it'll stop that population from overgrowing again, right? Because taking the berberine herbs is it's just the Band-Aid, right? That's going to go in there, but it's not going to heal the underlying condition. Okay, so let me come back here. This one's from Dawn. Dawn says, Andrea, I love your classes and books. Yeah, baby. She says, thank you so much for all the info. My question is about lectins, phytic acid, and oxalates. So I've heard these things are found in grains and beans and contribute to damage in the gut. And you have several recipes that involve grains and beans, especially for the kidneys. Does the soaking and cooking take care of those harmful compounds? Thanks so much. Yes, you are correct, Dawn. So the newest thing in the world of health is, right, don't eat the lectins, all right? But then they have all these new videos coming out. Well, if you soak your beans overnight, and if you cook them for 2 or 3 hours, right, it releases that stuff and it's no longer problematic. So I'm a big fan of using traditional wisdom and ancient remedies and those recipes that have been passed down for thousands of years and generation to generation to generation, right? Those recipes are properly prepared. So in the modern world, we're like, raw grains. No, don't eat grains raw, right? Soak them and sprout them and eat them raw. Don't do that. I wouldn't recommend that. Beans, same thing. If you want some bean sprouts once in a while, great. They're refreshing, rich in vitamin C. But every single day eating bean sprouts, not so good, right? So, and when I say bean sprouts, I don't mean the bean sprout, the little sprout itself. I mean like the actual beans that have been sprouted, right? So you want to cook that stuff. You want to cook it for a long time. And that will help with all of that, Dawn. Okay. This gal, Rehab, her name is Rehab, says, I have excess weight, especially in the belly, and I have thin face and upper part of my body is so thin. Okay, so excess weight, especially in the belly, always indicates stress. So she says, I tried a lot to lose the weight, but I'm regaining it after some period. In addition, I have troubles with a nervous colon, nervous urinary bladder, and cold terminals. Okay, so this person is under a lot of stress. So no amount of food or nothing that I'm going to say about food and herbs is going to help her. She's got to learn how to reduce the stress or find out what is stressing her and how is she reacting to the stress. So again, meditation, deep breathing, and then you could start to put in all the different herbs and all the, right, but you've got to get the stress. What is your reaction to stress in the world? Because you're going to keep getting stressed. Right? You're going to have to learn how to deal with that. So take a class on that. And then, of course, change your diet and put in some great herbs that help calm the stress. Like I could tell you, have lemon balm, or eat foods that are very calming, soups and stews with lots of vegetables, right? Deep roots, right? All very calming. But you can eat those, and as soon as you get stressed out, it doesn't matter because digestion is going to shut down and you're going to gain the weight in the belly anyway. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, Yvette says, what book would you recommend to learn more about the body's connection to the organs? Well, that's interesting, Yvette. That's a great question. So it depends, like from which perspective. So like from a TCM or a Chinese medicine perspective, I like, the Staying Healthy with the Seasons by Elson Haas. It's really good because he talks about the connection to the organs and the emotion and the foods. It's an old book. It's from years and years ago, but it's a really, really good one because he's a Western mind incorporating Chinese medicine, right? So he explains it in a way that's really understandable, as well as the 5 elements of self-healing. Although I think that book changed its name. The title of that changed, and I don't know the new title. But if you look up the 5 elements of self-healing and then you look for the new title, that's another one that shows the organs and the connection, the emotional connection, the physical connection, and then the different foods and the herbs that connect. You know, I'm a big fan of that stuff. I think that that in the modern world, where, you know, we don't understand that the emotional and the physical and the spiritual body are all connected in one. So, and it's, you know, I think it happened in the 1400s where the spirit was taken by the church and the body was taken by the medical establishment, right? And the two shall never cross paths again. But it's starting to come back again, which is really nice. We're starting to come back to our humanness, which is, you know, mind, body, spirit, right? The whole thing. And then mind, body, spirit, and how we are living on the planet, connected to the planet, to the cycles and the seasons. And then you want to go really deep and really big, how we're connected to the whole universe. And that's some really big stuff, right? Much bigger than I could give on this little Ask Andrea, much bigger than that. Okay, so let me grab another question here from the website. Sally says, are probiotic supplements good to take? What do you recommend? Are there more natural ways to get probiotics, especially when you have gut issues? I love fermented foods for probiotic. I love kimchi, sauerkraut, umeboshi plums. You know, I love pickled foods, salt brine pickles. Those are all rich in probiotic. I love all that stuff. So when you're having gut issues, you also have to make sure that you're chewing well. You're chewing well. If you're not chewing well, then your gut's always going to have issues. Okay. So this question came in from, Tandra. Tandra says, what can you do if all day long you're getting really bad hot flashes, but are post-menopausal? Okay, so hot flashes are showing liver heat rising. So for that, see, like you're post-menopausal, you're after menopause, but your liver is still congested. So I recommend motherwort. Woo, that'll help cool that liver heat right down. And also make sure you're getting enough exercise, you're moving your system, right? So it's not congested. So when you get that liver heat rising, right, you're gonna hot flash, hot flash, hot flash. The heat's gotta go somewhere, it's gonna come up. And you're gonna sweat here, you're gonna be sweating all over the place, you'll be sitting having a nice dinner, all of a sudden you're just a ball of heat, right? Okay. So let me see. Oh, hi Nieves, hi Nievesita. Oh, good, Yvette, you got that book and read it. Yeah, it's a good one. It just helps you understand the organs a little better and their connection to the cycles and the seasons and the flavors, right? All of that. Plus, you were in the New Healers program, and you could come back anytime and you know, go through all the stuff that you learned. So in module number 2, we cover the organs, and how they're connected to the foods and the various herbs. So you can totally go back. You have lifetime access to that stuff. You can go back and look at all that stuff. It's the action guide that came with module number 2, which is the organs and the meridians. Okay, so Lindsay says, I had a tonsillectomy. When I was 17, I would have never done that now, knowing that the reason I had tonsillitis all the time was because of my diet, right? So you live and you learn. She says, I'm super healthy now at 23. I'm just worried that my immune system will be compromised from now on because of that surgery. No, what happened, so the tonsils are the first indicators. They're the first guys, you know, the red flag that comes up. Hey, there's a pathogen that just entered the body, and it sends a message to the rest of the body. Hey, this pathogen is coming in. Let's go, guys, let's go. So you just lost that first line of defense, but you have a lot of other defenses. So you haven't ruined your body. You had your tonsils out. You just send your 5th chakra some love, right? Your 5th chakra is your ability to express yourself. And sorry, there's a steam heater in the back, so you're wondering what that sound is. You haven't ruined your life and your health. You're okay. You got your tonsils out. I mean, you could live the rest of your life healthfully and happily without a tonsil, without tonsils. People do it all the time. You know, try and hold on to the rest of your stuff. That's as best you can. I know it's easy. Like everybody's always telling you, hey, take this out, take that out, gallbladder gone, 10 feet of your intestines, goodbye. You know, if you can, just hold on to as much as you can, and always question, right? Always say, does this really need to come out of my body, or can I give my body more time to heal? So I've had clients that have had tumors and cysts and all this stuff, and of course the doctors, what they've been taught is, let's take it out. And the cyst didn't come overnight, right? It took time to develop. Nobody just wakes up one day with a cyst or a tumor. That's not the way the body works. So it takes time for that to decrease. Sometimes 3 months, sometimes a year. But in modern medicine, they just, let's go, get it out of the body. And it's a scare thing. I think they scare people into a lot of the surgeries. Okay. Okay, so this, again, questions that came into my website, I'm answering, and I'm bouncing back and forth. So here, 4 questions in a row from 4 different people: Sophie, Bob, Matthew, and Sean, right? And they all said the same thing. Did you go to college? Sophie. Matthew, why didn't you go to college? Bob, did you even go to college? How can you be trusted if you didn't even get firsthand experience? And then Sean, what collage did you go to? COLLAGE. So this was 4 trolls that came in. It might have been, it was either a flock of trolls or one troll with 4 different names: Sophie, Bob, Bob Huggen, Matthew, and Sean. And the one that made me laugh the most was Sean's, what collage did you go to? COLLAGE. So I went to the collage of fairy dust, and I just make collages. I have wonderful collages all over the place. Anytime that I'm in trouble, I'll make a collage, and I'll put a collage on the wall. So thanks, guys. But no, I didn't go to collage. Oh boy, these guys are funny. Okay. Oh, Latha says, my 3-year-old daughter saw you and is waving and saying hi, Andrea. Finally hopped on live. Oh, hi, Latha. How are you and your 3-year-old daughter? Was she the one on the cover of the book, Latha? Little cutie pie? Okay. Oh, thanks, Yvette. Yeah, I could teach at college. I could teach them how to make collages. Collages of health. Oh, boy, I tell you, these guys, these kill me. Trolls kill me. Okay, so another question came in from Charles. Charles says, can I use hawthorn tea if I'm on a blood thinner? And the answer is not necessarily, because hawthorn is a blood thinner, right? It's naturally, it supports the heart in a lot of ways. So you want to be careful with that kind of stuff. You know, get with a good herbalist or a health coach or a natural practitioner or a naturopath, right, to help you get off the blood thinner and get onto something a little more natural that doesn't have the negative side effects. I love hawthorn tea. It's great for the heart. It's one of my favorite heart teas, right? So Yvette, that would be a really good one. Hawthorn berry for you, right? Good heart tea. It helps to regulate the heart. It supports the heart. It helps to tone the capillaries. It's a really good one. And then Stephanie put in a question. She says, how do I get rid of my recurring yeast infections that have been severely affecting my life? Any guidance would be forever appreciated. Okay, so a recurring yeast infection indicates that your body is too damp. So where does yeast grow? When you see yeast growing, right, and you see, you know, like it's not growing in a really dry environment generally. There has to be some moisture, right, for the yeast to proliferate and grow. So your body is too damp. So I like black walnut hull. It's a great herb, especially for clearing, you know, drying out the dampness, toning. It's astringing. It can be too drying for some folks. It's going to clear out your whole digestive tract. You get the poops for a couple of days, black walnut hull. But you want to make sure that you're supporting your body and you're not contributing to the dampness. So some of the things that contribute to dampness are grains, breads, sugar, too much fruits, too much sweets, right, will make somebody damp. Even too much meat can make somebody damp, especially red meat, right, can make somebody damp. So you want to clear out the dampness. So a little more drying foods, even dry roasted foods. You don't want, I would also use ginger, right? Because it's hot and drying. I would use ginger as well. Garlic, another hot and drying spice. Oh, also, I talked earlier about cold and flu, right? There are some spices that are really drying. They're hot and drying. So something like cloves, put cloves into your food, allspice, those are all drying. Cumin too, right? So you want to make sure that you're not so wet and damp, right? And that will start to clear up the yeast infections as well as getting rid of all of the sugar. Okay. So Lee says, yeah, I'm having trouble with my left big toenail. I'm using tea tree oil after bathing. I avoid sugar, wear all natural materials, but I can't seem to get rid of that fungus on the top of the toenail. Okay, so the big toenail is connected to spleen and liver. Spleen and liver, right? So you have to say, okay, what's going on with spleen and liver on the physical level? Because, you know, they naturally balance each other out. So when spleen is too active, then liver starts to suffer. When liver is too active, spleen suffers, right? They have to balance each other out. So there's an imbalance between those two organ systems. So the fungus is also, this is also a dampness inside the body. Anytime that there's fungus, there's a dampness. So, you know, maybe less grains, less beans, right? Because those are all, they're all water rich, right? And water rich is wonderful for someone that is dry, generally. But maybe not someone that is too wet inside. And also for fungus, you could put, like, I know you're putting the tea tree oil, but I would actually ingest, not tea tree oil, but black walnut, great for fungus. It's really, it's antifungal, it's wonderful. And that'll also help to tone and almost dry the intestines a little bit, right? But again, it's gonna, you know, cause some bowel movements, some quick bowel movements, gonna clear out, it's a natural vermifuge, just gonna clear out the system from a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so Suzanne says, hi Andrea, I use apple cider vinegar daily in warm water. Helps my digestion and constipation, but sometimes I still get constipated. So if you're getting constipated, it actually shows trouble with the gallbladder. So if you still have your gallbladder, you wanna try and thin the bile a little bit. So like right now it's the northeastern United States, it's wintertime. So to support the gallbladder, I would do like a beaten apple salad, grated raw, right? With lemon juice and olive oil, right? That's going to support the thinning of the bile and stimulate the bile to get everything moving so you could have a good normal bowel movement. Because, you know, that's what you want. So the apple cider vinegar also helps because it's sour, right? The sour stimulates the liver, right? So, you know, all of the flavors are associated with a different organ system. So sour is connected to the liver, and bitter is connected to the heart, and pungent and spicy is connected to the lungs, and sweet is connected to the stomach and the spleen, and salty is connected to the kidneys. So I think I saw earlier that somebody said they were craving salt. So if you're craving salt, it's showing that the kidneys need stimulation, right? There could be an internal fatigue, something like that happening. So all of the flavors are associated with another organ system that is talking, right? The organ systems are talking. They're saying, hey, I need a little assistance here. You know, like for example, so many people crave sweet, right? They crave sweet and they think that they're bad for it, but they're not. It's not. It's actually that the body's exhausted. So when the body is exhausted, right, that sweet flavor nourishes the stomach, spleen, pancreas. And the stomach, spleen, pancreas this is the organ system that is responsible for breaking down your food so that you can absorb chi or energy, right? You can absorb energy from the food that you're eating. So if you're exhausted and you're craving the sweet flavor, that's the reason for it. So you have to give your body the sweet flavor, but give it a good quality sweet flavor. Squashes, carrots, cabbages, fennel, ginseng, one of my favorite energy revive, it brings up the energy, and it's a naturally sweet flavor. Oh, Suzanne, interesting. So no gallbladder. Okay, so send your liver some love, because it's working double time. It's working double time. The liver's job is, the liver's creating the bile. It's sending it to the gallbladder so it takes that bile and it concentrates it. So the concentrated bile is what gets squirted into the small intestine to break down the fats, to emulsify the fats so you can absorb. So now that you don't have a gallbladder, you have to be even more conscious of supporting your liver to the best that you can. So the liver loves stretching exercises, those morning stretches. Again, they're on my website. If you go to andreabeeman.com and you put in morning stretches, you'll see. The liver loves stretching. It loves to open up. The liver loves sour. That's why the apple cider vinegar works mostly, but they're still getting some stuck. You may actually want to do once a year. You probably want to do a coffee enema for a week or so, just to clear out any liver congestion. All right, that's all I got. That's all I got today. It's 1:37. Tandra, you're giving me so much health advice this year. May you have a great New Year's. Thank you, Tandra. Wishing you the same, and everyone. I'm wishing you a happy, healthy 2019. And just do the best that you can. You're alive right now. You're breathing. You're on the planet. Try and find, as you go into 2019, try and find the things to be grateful for, instead of, I don't have any tonsils. Oh, God, I don't have any gallbladder. God, I'm aching. I got this. Instead, okay, I'm alive right now. Be grateful for every moment that you're here, because it goes quick, man. You're in and out of this lifetime in a heartbeat, like literally, like, my gosh, next thing you know, like, oh my God, I'm 87. Okay, did I do everything that I wanted to do? Did I enjoy my life? Did I nourish my relationships? Did I have good vibes? Right? And of course, there's going to be crap that happens in between all that stuff. There's going to be terrible things that happen. That's just life. But you're going to get through it. And you're going to, at the end of it, you just do the things that you want to do and make the most of it. Make the best. So I'm wishing you guys a happy, healthy, beautiful 2019. I'll see you in the new year. And thanks for showing up. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.